Well, I'm going to finish off tonight's show then for Willie Quinn making his first defence of his WBO Inter-Continental middleweight title against Peter Waudby, who comes from the East Coast up Hull. And Peter Waudby, there he is. He's the Central Area Light Middleweight champion, so giving weight here to Willie Quinn. Comes from Musselburgh. Quinn beat Paul Busby, of course, in the 8th round, in fact, a retirement. I do believe that Paul Busby hurt his hand on that occasion. And, of course, Julie picked up the vacant WBO Intercontinental middleweight crown at the same time. Willie Quinn, 18 fights, 17 wins, 1 loss. 11 of those 17 wins inside the limit. The 1 loss against Mark J. Cracking little fighter in his day, Mark J. So here's Peter Waudby. He's won 12 of his 16, lost 3, drawn 1, stopped 3. Not a banger. So the mighty Quinn then, accompanying Willie the mighty Quinn to the ring. Old Manfred Mann's song, I do believe. He's in there somewhere. There he is. There's manager Tommy Gilmore and joint promoter Barry Hearn. And at one time, Willie Quinn used to work as a stripper, I do believe. There is then former Scottish amateur champion Willie Quinn. Pro since October of 1991.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Gilmore and Barry Hearn, on behalf of the St Andrews Sporting Club and Matchroom Boxing, promote a middleweight contest at 11 stone 6 pounds over 12 3-minute rounds for the WBO Inter-Continental Middleweight Championship. The contest is sponsored by the Glasgow City Council, and your judges at ringside, Wiso Fernandez, Cesar Ramos, and Nelson Vasquez of Puerto Rico. Your WBO supervisor in charge, Gerald Paxton Woolard. Your timekeeper, Jim Russell of Glasgow. And the man in charge of the action, Roy Francis of Kent. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the boxers. First, in the red corner, with the whites and the red shorts. 12 wins and 1 draw from 16 contests, 3 by way of knockout. He comes into the ring as the reigning Central Area Light Middleweight Champion. Will you welcome, please, from Hull, the challenger for the title, Peter Waudby. And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the blue corner with the tartan shorts. 17 wins from 18 contests, 11 by way of the big KO. And he comes into the ring as the reigning WBO Intercontinental Middleweight Champion. Will you welcome Willie the Mighty Quinn? Ladies and gentlemen, the weigh-in today, Waudby scaled 11 stone 5 pounds, and the mighty Quinn 11 stone 4 pounds 8 ounces, 12 3-minute rounds of boxing.
So there you are then, Alan Hughes with the formalities. Here's referee Roy Francis. 3 judges, all from Puerto Rico, ringside. Peter Waudby, managed by my old mate Lance Billany. Don't see much of him.
That's what I want. Have a good one.
Well, I can't, hard as I try, find any reason why Peter Waudby, who is a natural light middleweight, should prevail over a very lively Willie Quinn, who seems to be getting stronger as he gets older. But this is a funny old game, who can tell? Scheduled for 12 3-minute rounds. And this match sponsored by the city of Glasgow. Willie Quinn, as I said, from Musselburgh, which is just outside Edinburgh, and I do believe the home of the former world lightweight champion Ken Buchanan. What a fighter he was. Still remains one of my favourite all-time British world champions, if not the best. And talking of British world champions, I bumped into Terry Downs, of all people, in a local shop recently, looking great. And of course, Terry, former world middleweight champion. What a fighter he must have been. So a good forceful start then from Willie Quinn. And the first time I saw Peter Waudby was in his fifth professional fight. I do apologise. He'd had 4 wins, and he fought Warren Stowe from Burnley. And Stowe got the nod on that occasion. And Peter Waudby seems to be reasonably strong and reasonably durable. I don't think there's too many special aspects about him. He's not a great big banger, and he's not a fancy fighter. But he still manages to give reasonable fighters a hard time. But he's very determined. I think that's the thing that stands out about him. So, the body beautiful. Willie Quinn looks to have all the aces up his sleeve here. And of course, I much prefer the tidier approach of the Scotsman. Well, this will be scored by the full point system, of course. Referee Roy Francis will pick up the scorecards at the end of every round, give them to an adjudicator, who will have a running total going. And that looked like it might give it a clash of heads, actually, that calls that nick underneath the left eye of Quinn. So a bit of petroleum jelly there, probably laced with adrenaline, diluted 1 to 1,000 to act as a coagulant. The only legal stimulant allowed, of course, in world boxing.
Seconds out, round 2.
So round 2 then. And Willie Quinn has sustained damage underneath the left eye. Fighters don't mind facial damage, you know, they kind of wear it like badges, some of them. Some are very paranoid and will wear dark glasses after every fight, irrespective of whether they get banged up or bruised. Always found that a bit odd, personally. And unfortunately, it's not easy to look good against Waudby. Himself a pretty decent amateur. Got to the 1990 ABA Welterweight Championship final and lost to Adrian Dodson. Boxed for England as an international. think his best win to date so far, Waudby, was a stoppage of Roy Rowland on cuts, incidentally. That's on that occasion, Rowland, a much nicer boxer, much better to watch, but Waudby, well, he just stuck close and made things rather difficult for Roy. And inevitably, their heads rubbed together, and unfortunately for Rowland, it was him who came off worse. Nice right from Quinn. Willie Quinn, ranked number 46 in the world in the middleweight division, and Peter Waudby 178. Of course, they are independent world boxing rankings, and well, I think personally that Willie Quinn's rating is a bit flattering. Well, what can you say? It's going to be hard work, there's no doubt about that. Dunky Jowett there, administering the water, and of course the adrenaline-laced grease. So there's Lance Billy attending to the spotless face of Peter Waudby. Assisted by Norman Fawcett, my old mucker from Newcastle.
Corners 10 seconds.
As we come up for round 3.
Seconds out. Round 3.
And of course, there's Kelvin Hall in Glasgow. A very welcoming sound for Willie Quinn. As I say, he comes from the other end, from Edinburgh way, but brought a lot with him. Good ticket seller. Right again there from Quinn, but Waudby's getting through with a few of his own. Nice uppercut there from Peter Waudby. getting a bit of a comeback to this round from Willie Quinn, but I do think it's a good round so far for Peter Waudby. But his problem is, are the judges going to notice the work he's done? But there's nothing eye-catching about Waudby in the least. You know someone's there, but you can't really see him, can you? So there's the champion then of the WBO Inter-Continental middleweight. Champion, to be precise. And this was the last few seconds of that third round. So it's a round I think that Waudby's won, but once again, it's one of those displays that does very little to stir the blood. No offence to either man, but doesn't matter. But
10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 4.
Round 4. So Peter Waudby then from Hull in the white trunks against the tartan-clad Willie Quinn. I just think I used to have a body like Willie Quinn. I've now got a body like Roy Francis. That's a fair right from Quinn over the top. I thought Waudby's legs just did a slight dip then. And he's a completely non-banger, isn't he, Waudby? Couldn't punch his way out of a brown paper bag. But he's a very hard worker. But he's so unspectacular. I do hate to sound like I'm knocking, because I'm not. I'm just giving you as it is, really. You wouldn't want me to lie. Halfway through the round 4. I think Peter Waudby there succeeded in confusing himself more than he confused Willie Quinn. He changed feet, but didn't change hands. Or did he? Not exactly the rumble in the jungle, is it? And that's the problem when you label a fight with a championship. It makes you have so many great expectations of what's in front of you. And if they don't materialise, it's terribly disappointing. And to be absolutely honest, Waudby and Quinn are what we call 8-round fighters, top of the bill Shoreditch, to quote my old mate George. But, you know, they're not championship material in any way, shape or form at this stage in their careers. No doubting they could be in the future, but it's just a terrible shame that just for the sake of having to fight for some bogus championship, we expect what they can't deliver. And I'm not even going to bother to score it, I'm afraid. It's just one of those that it's so difficult to pick a winner, really. If you're Scottish, no doubt Quinn's won every round. If you're not, there could be a case for Waudby winning every round. It's just one of those fights. And how the WBO had the cheek to demand airfares for 3 judges from Puerto Rico to Scotland and back is beyond me. Talk about grandiose ideas.
Seconds out. Round 5.
So into round 5. And I hope you appreciate that my comments are not personal, they're not against anybody, they're not against Quinn, they're not against Waudby, they're not against anybody in particular, they're just general comments that unfortunately suit on this occasion. Once again, it's more likely to be a case of a clash of chemistry, rather like in the Dodson fight against Snyder. They just kind of cancelled each other out. There was nothing too special about either of their performances that would make them rise above, if you like, until, of course, Dodson put together that finishing burst, which was pretty impressive. Will we see the same here, I wonder? Well, the one plus, of course, in this one is they're both trying to work very hard, and they're both very determined to win. And there's no doubt, it means a great deal to these people. It means a great deal to everyone concerned with the fighters.
Seconds. Seconds out. Round 6.
So Willie Quinn then in the tartan trunks against Peter Waudby. And Quinn making the first defence of his WBO Intercontinental middleweight title. The one he got, beating Paul Busby on a retirement. Of course, Quinn could go one better than this WBO Intercontinental. He could become Scottish champion, which at least he's got some history. And of course, Peter Waudby's already carved himself a bit of British boxing history. He's the holder of the Central Area light middleweight crown. Paul Jones, the former, in fact, the reigning WBO light middleweight champion, used to, in fact, be a holder of the centre air light middleweight title. Past halfway in round 6. The Willie Quinn supporters really cheering him on. Well, it's one of the best rounds we've had so far, this 6th. Just beginning to suss each other out now. Yes, that's a good round there between them. And there looked to be a bit of a moan as Peter Waudby went back to his corner. I don't know what he's moaning about. What is that? Is that a cut?
No, I say corner there.
Well, that's in a very awkward place. It's not bleeding very badly, I don't think, but... well, what a shame for Peter Waudby. Claiming he can't see out of his left eye. And it wasn't Norman Fawcett, I'm afraid, down there. Oh, what a shame. Well, Willie Quinn then delights this Kelvin Hall crowd by retaining his WBO Inter-Continental Middleweight Championship with a retirement win over the unfortunate Peter Waudby. And it's a terrible shame it came with that stage, because the fight was actually just beginning to look quite attractive. As I say, I thought they just about sussed each other out. Time to tell you that next week here on Eurosport, we've got boxing for you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday.
And ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round 6, Peter Waudby's corner have retired their man, the winner and still the WBO Inter-Continental Middleweight Champion, Willie the Mighty Quinn.
Inter-Continental Champion there by Alan Hughes. Well, Willie Quinn remains the winner and remains champion, of course. Hope you've enjoyed this show. As I say, don't forget next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, boxing here on Eurosport. I hope you'll join us.